Here's our basic core. Again, this is when we started to form, but keep an eye on this hole right here. Remember, there's one on each side of the die. So we push down on it, the leg comes out, the core pops up, and we're done. It's a little light, so I back the die off a little bit. Even if the core is a little light, I just put it into a light box or a heavy box, depending on what I'm doing. And you can always use them later. And if you can't use it, just melt it down and cast it. Now here's a core blank. You see where the cutter's nipped it off right here. Is got a kind of a chisel point. As it goes in, squirts that lead out. Then you have your core. You can also use lead shot. Lead shot's a little tricky because it's really difficult to find lead shot that does not have antimony in it. It can be a little bit too hard and you can crack your die. If you can find pure lead shot, go ahead and use it. It's great. It makes great frangible bullets. Let's weigh this. Should be pretty close. Just a tiny bit heavy. So we're just going to, you can keep an eye on this right here. You can't see the top of the die. Small adjustments, just like you would in seating a bullet. Back it out a little bit more. Maybe that much. You'll get close. It's kind of like finding that exact weight on your powder measure. Kind of, you do a bulk correction and do fine corrections. So weigh that one. Get out of there. A little heavy. We'll drop it down two flats worth. That should take care of that. Once you get it, go ahead and set this. A little more. I'll just do another one. Remember the core blank into the coarse wage die. A little light. I want you to see the process here in real time. It doesn't take too, once you get used to it, and you get it adjusted, it goes fairly quickly. It's almost there, right about there. Then, once you get it set, go into mass production on your cores. Once you have all your cores made, what you need to do is degrease them. I use either acetone or 99% pure rubbing alcohol, or you can boil them in water with a little bit of soap to get all that oil off of there, or the lubricant. And what that'll do is it will prevent the cores from shifting in the jacket under firing. So all I did was make a little dunk tank, which is really simple. And let's see what this guy weighs out at. This guy should be right on the money. And he is. So now we can go ahead and make a few more cores. Don't slam the ram down on top of it, because you'll have a pressure spike And if this thing splits, it'll usually split straight down the center, all the way through, and all that pressure's in there, and this is going to be a real pain to get out. And it's also going to cost you a lot of money to fix it. You can't fix it, to replace it. Sometimes I'll get a burr on there. And then, there we go. Boom. Now what we got to do is change the dies out and set in the core seat die, which is marked C. Then we're ready to seat cores. Now when you're changing out your dies, what you want to do is take your core punch and back it out a little bit, because the setting's not the same between the core swage, the core seat, and the point forming die, especially the point forming die. So the first thing I do is I take the punch out, run this up, pull the pin out that holds the bottom portion of the bottom punch in. Take that die out, put the new die in. And another way you can do it is like this. It's a really tight fit between the lower punch and the die, so they will actually turn together. Take your pin, run your die up a little bit, or your ram up a little bit, down, then go ahead and set it. Need a couple of jackets here. Go ahead and lock the ram. I'm going to tell you something. If you get your hand between the punch and the die, because this spring here, it's not a lightweight spring. If it goes like that on you, your hand's not going to stop that. It's going to go right through you. The amount of, it doesn't look like there's a lot of force on there, but this press here will make a 25mm bullet. If your hand gets stuck in here, it's going to go right through it. It's going to crush your finger, not to mention going through it. So just watch yourself. There's a little catch here that keeps the ram from flinging back on you. Okay, now we got it set up. Let's get a couple jackets.